Warning, this video could contain spoilers for Survivor. So if you haven't seen it yet, don't watch this video yet. Good day, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful Wednesday. My Wednesday was wonderful as well. So I worked at the library today, and unbeknownst to me, there was a special holiday party or whatever they had there. I'd received an email about a white elephant gift, but there was no date on it or anything, and I just kind of forgot about it. Turned out it was today. And so a bunch of people brought in a bunch of different dishes, and they had just kind of like a potluck all together, and they got as many people down there as they could at one point. Obviously not everyone could be down there because some people had to be upstairs in the library to do things, but not too many for a limited period of time. So it was, I guess, pretty good food. I didn't get anything, so I didn't participate in the white elephant part of it because I didn't get anything. I kind of felt like I shouldn't have been participating in the food either because I didn't bring anything because, again, didn't really know about it. But it was a good time overall, I think. Worked there until 5, so kind of most of the day. And then got off, came here, and then me and Josh headed up. We met Heather up at Jesse's house, and we decided to go ahead and watch some Star Wars before Episode 7 comes out tomorrow. I won't be going until Saturday. Part of me is going to be dying inside that I'm not doing that. It's really tough. If I don't have anything else lined up, when I get off work tomorrow at 8, I might just go right over to Altamont Theater. And odds are I will be completely out of luck, but maybe just see if they have any open spots. I'll still go on Saturday, no doubt, even if I were to do that on Thursday, but I don't know. It's going to be really, really hard. 7 o'clock is going to roll around, and I'm like, people are watching Star Wars, and I'm at work, and it's just going to drive me crazy. And I just have to find a way just to keep myself busy and not get myself tempted into watching a review or something that might have spoilers in it, because this is going to be one of the hardest things to not have spoiled probably ever. It's crazy pre-sale ticket sales already, so really excited. Metaphors be with you. So we watched, obviously getting started at 6:30 in the evening. We don't have time to watch all 6 movies. We don't have time to watch all 3 movies, so we decided to go with the 2 that were the most closely connected timeline-wise to Episode 7, which would be Episodes 5 and 6, The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Empire is still my favorite of all the movies, and my favorite of the original trilogy for sure. But I felt like we really needed to watch Return of the Jedi for sure, just to get us up to, not really up to speed, because it takes place 30 years later, so we wouldn't necessarily be up to speed. So kind of like whatever your distant memory might have of Return of the Jedi, might have connections and stuff in there. But I decided it might be cool to just go ahead and try to watch them. And so obviously Star Wars Episode 4 was not an option, so because we didn't have time. So we went ahead and went 5 and 6, and my sister left in the middle of Return of the Jedi. Jesse's wife went out and came back right as we were starting Return of the Jedi. So yeah, but overall it was a good time. And then I came home. Tonight was spoiler alert right here. Tonight was, I'll try not to give anything directly away, but I will reference things kind of indirectly. The season finale of Survivor Second Chances, where America picked 20 castaways that were on the show in previous seasons and sent them back into the game to have a second chance and try again. And so everybody was on their second chance. Nobody had been on a second time already and was on their third chance or anything like that. Nobody did super well in the game. There were a couple of people who were runners up in their seasons, but a few people. I can think of 3 right now. But it was a fresh new feel throughout the season. They gave twists. They started with 2 tribes. They did a twist. They brought out 3 tribes. Then they did another twist where they brought back down to 2 tribes. They swapped members of the tribes while it was at 3. I think again while they were at 2 afterwards again. And then pretty quickly went into a merge where things started getting even crazier, believe it or not. I had one person in particular that I wanted to make sure made it back into the game. Of all the people on the list, definitely my favorite of everyone there was to vote for. So I made sure he got my vote every day. Um, and he made it in. And that person was Spencer. So, it was kind of stressful watching this last episode because Spencer was still in there. And I was like, I have a real chance to finally pick a winner. I only made, I think, one other time I picked someone and it got to a final 2, and that person was in the final 2, but they did not win. So this time I have picked someone from before the casting was even there, and they make it all the way to the final 6 into the last episode. And I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Things happen. There were stressful moments at tribal councils. Idols were played. Votes were erased. A Survivor first happened. Very exciting to see in place, but would have been very bad for one person if things had gone a certain way. And what I thought was unfair was during the jury, the very last thing that anyone had an opportunity to say was said, and it drew out sympathy, lots of sympathy for this one person over the others. And I really feel like it tainted the whole entire game because a lot of people were up in the air. There wasn't too much bitterness or anything because there couldn't be too much bitterness because of the way things went with floating blocks shifting around instead of having solid alliances like usually would happen on Survivor. So it's like you can't get too bitter about it because you just kind of were accepting that as the default strategy in the game. And so they weren't. But then this sad story came about. Not sad, but emotional story came into play at the very end, and I feel like it erased any chance that the other 2 members of the final 3 had at winning. And what we wound up having at the end was a unanimous decision. Completely unanimous with the whole jury. And that was shocking to me, but also confirmed my suspicion and dread, which is that this whole season of Survivor, I would go down as saying is the best season of Survivor, had probably one of the worst endings because of how that went down. And it's up to the jury, I understand that, but I just feel like nothing else mattered at that point. It was like there are 3 people left, and this person made us feel bad for him more than the other 2 did because they didn't try to. They tried to upsell their gameplay, and this person brought in his personal life at home. And not that that's a negative thing, it's just I really think the decision of the game needs to be based on gameplay and strategy and who did the best playing this game. And there was a lot of hesitations and almost huge mistakes being made in this last episode by this person. And it was amazing that it turned out the way it did to get to the final 3. But so I'm disappointed, obviously. I definitely have given some things away. So hopefully you guys heeded my spoiler alert warning and didn't watch this video until after watching Survivor. So yeah. Next season of Survivor, they are going to be doing another beauty versus brains versus brawn. They introduced about maybe 6, 7, 8 players. I don't know why they introduced these people, because those people are going to stand out more to people unless they have a whole lot less contestants. But apparently there's going to be lots, and they gave like clips of lots of different instances of medical emergencies coming up and happening. A pretty bad infection happens to someone, things like that. Don't really know. They showed us a former NBA player, someone who's like really, really smart, intelligent person. They had a female bodybuilder. They had just a good old Southern boy. There's always one of those. Uh, and they just it was like different walks of life, beauty versus brains versus brawn, and it worked out okay the last time. Although they had a former NBA basketball player on the last version of beauty versus brain versus brawn, so think outside the box much? I don't know. And they had 4 people from Beauty versus Brain versus Brawn on the second chance season, so it's kind of like it was pretty popular, I guess, all in all. Definitely going long on this video, up to 11 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Tomorrow I'm working at the library, just short evening shift, 4 to 8 o'clock. After that, who knows what's in store. I may be inspired to do something that I probably should just try to be patient about, but it's going to be tough to do. So, at any rate, this vlog's over, so good night, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow.